So welcome to a little tour of my dressing room. I thought I would show you around and show you some of my favorite things in here. This is definitely a happy place of mine. It is a temporary space, so I haven't put in any built-in cupboards. I just thought I would buy some freestanding racks and display all of my favorite things and still make it into a really beautiful space. So first of all, we have these rose gold racks, which I found on Etsy. There was a lovely lady in the UK that makes these. I'll try and find the details and put them at the bottom. And I thought I'd just order 3 and display my prints, pastel colors, and whites and creams. I have a lot of white and cream dresses, probably way too many, but it feels like all of my favorite things are out, and then all of my kind of everyday clothes and black toned clothing are all filed away in the cupboard. So I do have clothes in other colors, but I tend to just file them away because they have a kind of a darkness to them. So I feel like having the lighter tones on display makes the room feel really light and airy and a little bit like a boutique. So also what we have is some of my favorite shoes here. This pair of shoes in particular were the ones I wore on my wedding day. They're not too high because I'm a wuss with really high shoes, and I thought I would buy these because I can wear them again, and I do wear these in real life, not just on my wedding day. Over here we have this vintage mirror, and this is quite a special mirror to me. It was one that was in my apartment in Paris when I lived there, and the owners of my apartment didn't want this mirror. It was covered in black soot, and when I was leaving they were like, you can take that thing if you want. And so I was super happy to ship this home, and I cleaned it up when I got back, and it still looks a little bit cracked and worn, but I kind of love that about it. It makes me feel like it's the old part of the old Paris in my dressing room. So I love this piece. And then also I have over here, this was a really special bag that I bought probably about 10 years ago. It was a 27-year-old vintage Chanel handbag. I had always wanted one of these, and I saved up for it. And after my first exhibition in Paris, this was something that I bought, and it was quite a special purchase. It was one that meant a lot to me, and I still use it a lot. It's such a classic piece. It's quite kind of beaten up around the edges, but I also kind of like that about it. It feels like it's lived a life before it was with me. So I love that piece. And then also I have some really dresses that I really love along here, but this is probably my most favorite. This is also designed by my friend George Wu that did my wedding dress. And this dress was created for a really special project where I was painting in Paris with a hotel called Plaza Athénée, and it was actually worn on the Carrie Bradshaw balcony from Sex and the City. So that was a real pinch me moment, and this dress is probably my favorite thing that I own outside of my wedding dress. It's really the only couture piece that I own. Everything's been hand beaded and hand sewed, and it's beautiful. I really love that dress. Lots of beautiful memories of wearing it. And then over here I have a little box that I keep scarves in, and this one in particular is quite a special one. It was one that I bought on my last day in Paris, where I lived for 2 years. And there was this little marketplace near where I used to live, and this little old lady had a stand of Hermes vintage scarves, and she said to me that the love of her life had given her this scarf, and he had recently passed away, and she felt like she didn't need them anymore, and she wanted someone else to experience these beautiful silk pieces. And so I don't know if that's a true story or not, but I choose to believe it, and I bought this scarf, and I feel like it also has some beautiful memories in it. So that is a really special piece. And otherwise, this is just a spot that I really love to have as a room of my own and display my things. As I said, it is a temporary spot, but I think that if you have a spot that's temporary where you can't put in big cupboards that are built in, you can still make your spot really beautiful. These racks were not terribly expensive, and you can buy the matching coat hangers as well, which I found at Target, and they match the racks in rose gold. So I think it's those little touches that can make your closet that little bit more special.